Now we get
Well, okay, well, koalas have two types of chlamydia. Only one spreadable to humans, okay? Hello, I'm Yadi, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Saphwyn, the silly Nico Vtuber, and today we are watching Casual Geographic. In particular, we're watching Who's That Pokemon for 9 minutes straight. I'm so excited to watch more animal content with you guys. I absolutely love animal content, as you probably know, and if you're new here, I love animals. But before we dive in, I do have an anime reaction channel, so if that sounds like a good time and you want to see my reaction to the hottest animes out there, go check out my new anime channel. It is linked down below, and let's dive into the video. Original. What is this?
So a lot of y'all tagged me and wanted to know what that is.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't really know. Okay, that was kind of cap. It's a maned wolf and they're pretty common in Brazil and Argentina.
It's the one with the super long legs that everyone is surprised about when they know about it.
But they're not wolves, they're not foxes, they're not even cross-dressing coyotes. They're kind of just their own thing, and they are really weird. Because even though they're technically related to wolves, most of their grocery list is just fruits and vegetables. Like that one dude that brings a veggie burger to a cookout. Now that I'm saying that out loud, they're basically the pandas of dogs. Also, they smell like Snoop Dogg's studio, to the point where police were called to a Dutch zoo to investigate what they thought was burning bush when it was actually just still puppy's piss. Also, they straight up sound like an identity crisis. See what I mean when I say they're just weird as hell? They honestly look like what happens.
Bro, they are so weird. The noises coming out of it, the sounds coming out of it, the smell coming out of it, all of it's weird. All of the above.
When God's on a deadline.
I like him though.
On a serious note, in 2011, a maned wolf got run over by a truck and left to die. But a Brazilian zoo managed to save her life by treating her with stem cells, making her the first wild animal to ever be treated with stem cell therapy.
Whoa! I love when science be sciencing. That's amazing. Stem cell therapy to help animals now? Oh my god. I love when science is sciencing for the right reasons, guys.
She was released back.
Wait, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Making her the first wild animal to ever be treated with stem cell therapy, and eventually she was released back into the wild. Just thought that was cool.
That's hella cool.
I swear nature just be making shit up, because what if I told you what you just saw was some weird prehistoric water-loving jungle rhino? Well, I wouldn't exactly be lying. That is a bear's taper and is basically the less.
He looks like he just smashed his face into a wall. He looks cute though, but that's my first impression of the animal. That's what it is.
Not a cousin of horses and rhinoceroses.
Wait, cousin of a horse?
You might recognize them from Ice Age, or it might remind you of Jiaozi.
It does.
This Pokemon is actually based on a Malayan tapir. And that's because in Japanese mythology, the Malayan tapir would devour the nightmares of all the townsfolk to make sure everyone had good dreams. The bear's tapir is the national animal of Belize, and even though it looks like a rough draft rhino, its nickname is actually the mountain cow. And they're way bigger than you think, and at up to 800 pounds with a horse's mouthpiece, they're 100% capable of f***ing you all the way up.
Bro, anyone else think it was like the size of a capybara? I thought it was not the size of like, I don't know, like a mini horse donkey type thing. I thought it was like as big as like a little capybara would be. I don't know if anyone else had that realization either, but
there's also something about them that I'm not proud that I know this. Basically, tapirs have a fifth leg, and they've been known to use that meat tripod as a back scratcher. Because guidelines has been on mine, I'm not going to show you. Instead, here's ASMR you didn't know you needed.
They have a fifth leg, which is in reference to, I'm not going to say for demonetization reasons, but you get what I'm saying, what the fifth leg is. And they could use that fifth leg to scratch their back? You're telling me it's that long? And they just use it as a back scratcher? That's wild. Oh, look at this little baby. Munchen. Aww. You know what? I'm gonna wait though. Anyone else hate when humans eat food, but love when animals eat food? I don't know if anyone else gets that. I like, not all the time. It depends on how someone's eating their food, but I can get very irritated when that happens. And it's just like, you know, issues with myself, but that's okay. But when I like hear an animal eat, like I don't get that feeling. Like I don't get any irritation from when watching or listening to an animal eat. And I don't know why. Like I don't know why something's wrong with me, okay? I think you guys already knew that, but something's wrong with me and I don't know what it is, okay? Next. What?
Some things just have Australia tattooed all over it. This little guy is a Stropher's gecko, and it's found in only one place in the world, and it's in the land down under. Nah, it's not hell, it's Australia, but I wouldn't blame you for getting the two mixed up. To defend itself, this gecko shoots out a harmless but nasty smelling liquid at anyone that wants to find out just how far evolution went with this lizard. And even though I just said it was harmless, when mixed with ammonia it becomes flammable and a lot less harmless.
It becomes flammable?
These geckos often get
flammable? Look at him. Why does his mouth have to be open too? Oh, it's probably to scare away the predator. And you know what? That was a dumb question. It's okay.
When mixed with ammonia it becomes flammable and a lot less harmless. The reason is because these geckos often get picked off by birds. So these chameleons use that money shot to convince birds that they're not even worth the effort of trying to eat them. It's like Spider-Man, but instead of webs, it's a Febreze of liquid ass that probably tastes just as bad. I was considering making a gizzard joke, but it just didn't come to me. Unlike this gecko.
Girl, he made it anyways. He said it didn't come to me. Ah ha ha. What is this? A crab?
So when I first talked about this, I thought it was a
Okay, I see the crab. What is this black glob sucking on the crab? What?
black sea hare, a giant species of sea slug, but it turns out the truth is somehow weirder than that. This crab is being eaten alive by a worm, specifically a marine flatworm, part of the group Pseudoceras.
I hate worms. Oh my, I hate
that
them.
have those pee-pee sword fights where one tries to get the other pregnant by stabbing it. Yeah, those guys. The reason the flatworm's covering the crab is because it's trying to invert its digestive system so it can literally digest the crab from the outside. Or option 2, it'll spit digestive juices into the crab, wait for the crab to become a pre-digested paralyzed soup, and then slurp it through its mouth. Also, some flatworms will use poison to cripple their prey just so they can eat them alive. The poison some of them use is a toxin called tetrodotoxin. If that sounds familiar, it's the same toxin that makes the blue ring octopus and the fugu blowfish so dangerous. And by dangerous, I mean this octopus can turn 26 grown men into hashtags. And this blowfish can drop.
You ever see the pictures? I don't know if you guys see the pictures of people who don't know that the blue ring octopus is dangerous, and then you see them picking it up or going to pick it up or something. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those videos, but I see those videos and then I start panicking for them, and I'm like, oh dear, I'm like, why are we picking up the colorful octopus? We should know colorful animal in the wild equals bad, equals poison, equals toxin, equal bad. Do not touch colorful animal.
30. Not points, but bodies. Moral of this video? Yeah, that crab is these teeth belong to the world's scariest vegan. This is a gelada baboon, and even though its teeth looks like it should belong to a saber-toothed cat, they eat almost nothing but grass, and they'll spend all day grazing like cows. And they'll do this while rolling up in squads of up to 600. That is a gelada monkeys. And that joke is why I'm still single. Speaking of failed relationships, they cheat on each other like all the time. Normally, only the dominant male is allowed to mate, but sometimes the females will go behind his back and hook up with the lower-ranking monkeys, and they'll even suppress their usual mating noises just so they don't get caught. Because if they get caught, the male could turn the side piece into a hashtag. So,
okay, my only question is, why do they need such big canines if they're, strictly herbivore? I'm just, curious, because normally your canine is used for the meat ripping and stuff, right? So, why do they have such big canines going on?
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're also called bleeding heart monkeys because of that bright patch of skin on their chest. If you have a weak stomach, hide in the comments. You're not gonna like this one. Because when a female gelada's in heat, she'll start growing this weird-ass blister necklace that tells other males she's available.
Excuse me? That's what happens when she's in heat? What a weird animal. What? Imagine if humans grew blisters when we were in heat every single month. What? What?
I hate it. I hate all of it. I somehow almost forgot to mention this, but they'll flip their lips and expose their teeth to intimidate a rival or someone who's just too close in general. And considering sometimes they'll form gangs and bully other animals like leopards, yeah, you don't want those problems.
They're just massive for what it is.
Now, what if I told you not only is this skull real, the animal it belonged to very well could have been your neighbor. If you live in North America or some parts of Asia, this thing could have made its home in your backyard. This is the headpiece of Metamynodon planiforms. It was a semi-aquatic unit of an animal related to the rhinoceroses of today. Basically, lock a hippo and a rhino in a hotel room together, and this disrespect to the natural order is what would have—
It has such a weird, unique snout here, like a protruding snout. I guess it's kind of similar more to the rhino. I feel like the hippo snout really suits its face, if that you get what I'm saying. But here with this animal, I feel like it just protrudes a lot more. And it could be just the structure and the way his lips are pursed here with the nose. But I don't know, there's something off that's about it.
Walked out. Metamynodon was estimated to grow to 13 feet long and break the scales at 4,000 pounds. Like hippos, this walking bus of an animal would have grazed on mostly grass. But they also would have used those tusks to run phase with each other in the evolutionary arms race for female validation. And also, like hippos and crocodiles, Metamynodon's eyes were near the top of its head, meaning it could see you while being almost completely submerged underwater. And just like the homicide horse of today, Metamynodon would have been a f***ing problem. But this swamp rhino got vaulted about 35 million years ago. Because even nature knows when to stop to get
Crazy. What?
Nah, it's just me, but check this out.
What?
This is one of the most endangered animals.
What? Not the Arliss and Ray cameo. What the heck?
In the entire world, and there's not much time left for them. This is a vaquita, and scientists believe there can be less than 10 of them in existence.
Stop.
A little background: a vaquita is a type of porpoise, and a porpoise is just a Dollar Tree dolphin that no one seems to really know about. And this off-brand flipper exists in only one place on the entire planet. The only place in the world you can find it is in the Gulf of California and Baja California in Mexico. Even though it's related to literally the biggest animals in the world, at less than 5 feet long, the vaquita is the smallest of all living cetaceans, which is a group that includes blue whales. The biggest threat to this travel-sized dolphin is they keep getting caught in fishing gear, which causes them to...
This is why I hate it here. I hate it here. So many animals lose their life to negligence and people forgetting their fishing lines. I know accidents happen. I understand accidents happen, but there's so many like causes out there where like people just be leaving their nets, they discard like trash into the ocean, and that just makes me so sad that we're losing precious wildlife like this.
drown.
And I know people are like, oh, let nature take your course, like blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, like we're literally killing off those whole species due to fishing nets because we're fishing. You know what I mean? Like, it's so sad. It's so sad.
To show you how badly we hold this Make-A-Wish whale, 1997 there was believed to be something like 600 of them. That number dipped to 245 in 2008. Now there aren't enough in the world to run a game of full-court basketball. The worst part is they were first discovered in 1958, which means we managed to pack their entire up in only 60 years. The Mexican government banned fishing with gill nets, which was their biggest threat. There's also petitions like this to raise awareness. Link in bio. Link in bio. If we're being honest, it might just be up for them. On this episode of Animals That Were Never God's Favorite, squids have a donut-shaped brain with their esophagus running through it. The donut shape actually helps them link information that they receive between the two eyes. But it also means squids are forced to eat with small bites at a time. Because if a squid tries to swallow something too big, it can actually mess around and give itself severe brain damage. The hole in the brain isn't even that big, it's like less than half an inch.
What?
Which means something like a Popeye's biscuit would give them an aneurysm. That is if it didn't past tense them instantly. Giant squids avoid getting flatlined by their food because they have a radula, which is basically a tongue with teeth. So if a giant squid tried to eat you, it would first tear you to shreds with that knife.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, if I ever saw a giant squid in the wild, I don't even know how I would act. Like, how would I even act if I saw a giant squid? Well, I probably would be shocked. I'm not gonna lie, if I saw it in the wild, I think I would be shocked.
Mirror of a tongue before swallowing you. And only after grinding you into human dirt would the squid be able to pass you down his throat. Now, nobody's perfect, but having to eat basically flavored sand for your entire life just so you don't accidentally factory reset yourself just seems like an intentional you from people wanted me to react to this. So basically there's an animal draft and I have many thoughts. Most people choose between a good time and a long time, and team 1
animal drafts. So you either pick team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5. Dogs, honey badger, orca, African bullfrog, liger, saltwater crocodile, Cape buffalo, cassowary, kangaroo, hippo, great white shark, grizzly bear. I'm kind of, I don't know. I think I'm team 3. If I'm being dead serious right now, I think I'm going with team 3. Depending on what the draft is for, though. It depends.
said f it and chose neither. You failed the assignment when the most intimidating animal on your roster is this.
Meow. Meow.
We love dogs, but if you only have one, it's not going to take you very far. Bison are cool, but since evolution them and put 2 of their lungs in one cavity, for an animal built like a tank, they're pretty easy to one-shot. Sea turtles are dope, but you picked an animal that can get folded by a Ziploc bag. Team 1, it's up for you. Team 2 used the 2nd overall pick on a steroid weasel. Now that tells me all I need to know. Made up with the crocodile and the Komodo dragon, and elk isn't exactly terrible, but your team does lack one very important thing. I got no type of speed. And notice how I didn't even acknowledge the koala. Because unless it's during the 10 minutes they're awake every day, the koala isn't going to be a factor.
I was about to say, this, like, what is the koala doing? I guess in little bursts of energy it's going to attack you, but homie is like, homie sleeps for so long because homie doesn't even eat nutritious food, right? They just live on eucalyptus leaves, which are not nutritious at all, but that's the only thing they eat, so they, like, have no energy. So I don't know why. Unless if you have, like, a herd of koalas, then maybe, but, that'd be crazy.
If it was, it wouldn't be good for much except spreading chlamydia to the other teams. Now we get
okay, well... Koalas have 2 types of chlamydia. Only one spreadable to humans. Okay, like fun fact, guys.
Real Team 5, you started off strong by picking the largest land predator on the planet with the polar bear. I guess you ran out of to give because then you picked the African bullfrog and followed it up with a genetic disaster that is the liger. Technically, the liger is the biggest big cat on the planet, but it's also a walking medical bill that can suffer from arthritis, organ failure, and cancer. You wouldn't even have to kill the
liger. I didn't even realize that the liger can suffer from cancer, and that's so sad. And then, like, people, like, keep trying to reproduce ligers. That's sad.
Time will do it for you. You do get points for picking the animal with the highest recorded bite force at 3,700 pounds per square inch. It's kind of like getting hit with a prehistoric sledgehammer with teeth. Then you followed up with an animal literally nicknamed Black Death in the Cape Buffalo. Not bad. But honestly, none of that even matters because Team 4 did y'all dirty. Team 3 is tough, I am not denying that. But any team with the largest animal on land, the actual largest big cat because ligers have no business existing, and the psychopath of the sea is going 82-0. And if you disagree, elephants body hippos, a horse could kick a cassowary's lights out, a tiger would murk kangaroo jack. This is what orcas do to sharks. And the panda, I ain't gonna lie to you, he's just there for vibes. Basically, it comes down to this. Nothing on land is f***ing with an elephant, nothing in water is checking an orca. Adding a tiger is just gravy. Team 4 got it.
I don't know, I agree. It's either Team 4 or Team 3, and I think it will depend on the scenario here. Realistically. Like, yes, an orca does destroy great whites, but, like, an orca has to hunt in packs in order to do that. All right, that's normally how they take out a great white shark. I can see the hippo getting fucked up by these animals, but at the same time, like, a hippo can repercuss and fuck up, say, like, a tiger or whatever, depending on the scenario. A grizzly bear. You piss off a grizzly bear, it could probably do some damage. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. A tiger versus a grizzly bear would kind of be a wild fight to see. The kangaroo. Yeah, you know what? The kangaroo and the panda are kind of in the same going. Except the kangaroo, if you're talking specifically of a red kangaroo, which is your biggest species, they would pack a punch. They're the big buff guys. They're like your stereotypical kangaroo that you see is the big red ones. And they are jacked. And the cassowary, like, you know, the cassowary do be packing a punch too. So I don't know. But that is true. The elephant is the largest animal, and it's kind of, unless if you're like a human with weapons, and sadly, it's a lot to take down an elephant. If you're determined to take down an elephant, then yes. And when it comes to the horse, I think honestly it depends on the size of the horse. If you have like a Clydesdale or something, well, that's a big freaking horse to be messing with. But if you have just your stereotypical like pony or whatever, then they're more vulnerable. So it depends. See, this is all depends. It definitely comes down to Team 3 and Team 4 though, because Team 1, 2, and 5 are kind of, you know, they have strong performances and strong animals, but when you break it down completely, they don't really work together as well as a team. Definitely Team 3 and Team 4. I'm done ranting. Wait, before I leave too, let's comment down a shark emoji if you made it all the way to the end of this video, as well as if you guys are new here, if you guys are newer, I should say, if you don't know who I am, I studied biology for 6 years. I have a specialization in biotechnology, aka bacteria is my specialization, and DNA and genomes and like all that fun stuff, like biochemistry kind of, you know, like looking at DNA and seeing what is up with DNA and looking at microorganisms, which is your bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, all that fun stuff. Well, you probably won't find that fun stuff, but that is what my specialization is for anyone who is asking me questions. But I am a full-time VTuber / content creator / YouTuber, whatever it may be. So I am away from the biology field right now because this is my full-time job. And I can only do this full-time job because of you guys here on YouTube. So like the video, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys all on the flip side. Thank you so much for hanging out, and goodbye.